So good day guys, welcome to today's lesson. In today's lesson we are going to be editing the story level. Okay, so there are two ways of editing the story level. The first way is to right click on your keyboard. Once you right click on your mouse, so you can see add and modify grid. So once you select it, it brings you to this edit story and grid system data, so you can edit your story, or you come to edit and look for edit story and grid system. Okay, so you do it. So in this case now we have ground plus 15 plus roof. Okay, so and each story height is 3 meters. So come here, modify it, and we start. So we have base, and this is ground floor. So because the reason I will put this as ground floor is because we know our soil, our foundation is going to be wrapped. So the raft is going to serve as the ground floor. So I can change my base to the ground floor. Okay, ground floor GF. Now I have my first floor, first, second, third, and fourth. Okay, so I can add more stories. So I just right click on it and add more stories. Okay, so how many number of stories do I want to add? Let me add 10 more. Okay, so click OK. So we have fourth and the fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, then we have the 10th, then 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, and I need to add two more stories. Okay, so takes a little while. So this is the 15th and the roof. Okay, so this is what we have. Now you can see on this point it has given us each height, so I can decide to change my height. You see, if I change this height to 4 meters, the elevation will change. So I can decide to make my first to my ground floor 4 meters. Maybe it is a car park, so that means from the surface of, this is what it means. So if we have something like this, this is the column, and put on my auto, this is the column, and this is the ground floor, this is the first floor. So from this first floor to the ground floor, it is 4 meters. So because of car park, let's assume something like that. Okay, so the remaining can be 3 meters. Now we have what we call master story. So when you hear the word master story, what comes to your mind is you have a leading story. So for example, now if I make my master story the second story, now let me make this the master story. So I can leave this as no. So what they mean is that, let me leave it as no. So a master story means whatever you do on that story, that is a master story. Whatever you do on that story, you can easily replicate it to typical flaws. Okay, so I have this as my master story. So I'll leave my roof as a typical master story because I need to remove this slab. I don't want there to be a slab. I just want maybe aluminum roofing sheets on my roof level. Okay, so now you can see my master story is this. So we have the similar to, so I want it to be similar to the master story. So it's similar to the second floor, and so on and so forth. So it's similar to this. Okay, so this is what we have. So it is similar to my second, and I can decide that, okay, this is an, for example, if I have varying floors, maybe from first to fifth floor is the same, 6 to 9th floor is the same. So I can decide to have varying master stories. But in this case, because this is just an example, I will do this. So it's typical to the second floor. Okay, now you can change the story color, whichever color you want. This is just for aesthetics. And okay, so we are done with that. Now in the next video we are going to be talking about reporting on grade systems. Okay, so thank you for watching today's video. If you have any question, you can always drop it.